It's weekend number 8, Ocean City High School football. The Raiders take on the Vikings from Atlantic City High School. And it's, in effect, as Tony Galletti said, a championship game for Ocean City. If they win it, they are assured of at least a share of the Cape Atlantic Division I title for the second year in a row. And they're pretty sure that they're going to play, well, they know they're going to play some game in the Group 3 playoffs, but we'll have to wait until the post-game show to find out exactly whom. Big game, and I would think, Bud, the wet conditions have to favor Ocean City.
Possibly, Tom, and you know, this is just one big game after another with this team. Every week is a championship game, and here we go.
Kick is bobbled at the 5-yard line, and Atlantic City will return from the 10. And some running room. Still going at the 25-yard line is Tim McGann. Tim has a cousin that kicks for Holy Spirit High School. Spartans having won on Friday night to remain in that virtual tie, and he brought the ball all the way out to the 27-yard line.
Sometimes happens when a kickoff or a punt return is fumbled a little bit. It throws things off defensively and offensively as far as the blocking scheme, and sometimes you get to work, get some good running room out of nothing.
Atlantic City, Tim McElwain, the quarterback. The leading scorer is Don Harris, number 11. And he tries the center of the line with no success, and not too many teams will have success.
Atlantic City will show some various offensive sets. That time a one-back offense. They like to throw the ball a little bit, Tom, and that may be a little problem today with the way this wind and rain and mist is out there on the field.
Gain of about a yard. It's 2nd down and 9. The ball out around the 28-yard line. McElwain hands the ball off in the backfield, and that's where the play ends. A loss possibly of another yard.
Dave Gordon in on the tackle for the Raiders. I believe came from the right side of that defensive line around behind the blocking pattern to make the stop. There wasn't any opening there in the line of scrimmage. The Raiders had it pretty well bottled up. Allowed Gordon to come from behind and make the tackle.
So Harris on his first carry loses a yard. It's 3rd down and 11. The backs are in the eye. Twins to the left, and McElwain retreats to throw. He's under a little bit of pressure, but gets the pass away. It's off the target, however, and it will be 4th and 11 for Atlantic City.
Well, covered over there on the far sideline by Mike Tull. Would have been very, very close to a first down. That's one of those plays where it's up to the receiver to make sure that he knows where that first down marker is, but didn't really matter because the ball was thrown incomplete.
4th and 11, Atlantic City to punt. James Brown back to kick. We talked about him a lot. Very successful kicker and also a good punter. He gets this one up into the wind a little. Drives Leon Brown back to the 35. At the 45, and Brown still going at the 50. Spins down to the 46-yard line of Atlantic City. Leon Brown with another fine effort.
What he wanted to do on that kick, he kept the ball low so that the wind wouldn't affect it too awfully much. You could see the ball start to rise the further it went, and then the wind just kind of held it up a little bit, and Leon Brown with a good return.
Brown has returned 11 punts before this game. His best would have been 10 yards, so I think that's going to go into the books as his best return of the year so far. On the 46, hitting the left side is Bob Krokenberger inside the 45 to about the 44. Last time we saw Bobby was having his shoulder worked on against Egg Harbor Township, but as you surmised, Bud kept out of that second half mainly as a precaution.
Yeah, he could have played, but when you're looking at big games every single week, and at that point that game was pretty much in hand, there's no point in taking a chance on injury any further.
So it'll be 2nd down and about 7 yards to go. Ocean City inside the 45. It's Craig Swenis inside the 40 and down to about the 36. Very close to the first down. Close to the first down.
It's one of the bread and butter plays, a dive right, following the right tackle, right guard, right defensive end, and usually very, very successful for the Raiders. I think we're going to get a measurement out here.
Swen is kind of a forgotten man, but he's gained 222 yards this year, averages 5.6 yards per carry, but he kind of just fills in and does the job when it's necessary. I guess the best description is a good role player.
That's true, Tom, and I'm sure that the players on the field certainly appreciate the job he's done. We mentioned at the very beginning of the season that he was kind of the quiet leader of this football team, and he's the type of player who leads by example. Whenever you give him the ball, he gets the job done. Like a good umpire in baseball, somebody that you don't really know is there, but he's just getting the job done.
Full house behind Leipold. And he gives the ball to Krokenberger, who's inside the 35 to about the 33 or 34-yard line.
I would think, Tom, that as we look across the line of scrimmage in our program here, that Atlantic City is as big a team as the Raiders have faced this year. Most of the teams, the Raiders do have that height and weight advantage across the line. This is a team, Atlantic City is a team that pretty well matches up with Ocean City.
Second and about 6 or 7. Full house. And it's Ian Ace down to the 30, maybe the 29-yard line. But it'll bring about a third down play. There's a flag on the play, and it looked like it was after the play. And they're having words. Some Atlantic City players seem upset, so there must have been some action after the play.
Yeah, what happened was Chris Gunnels was downfield, continuing to make some blocks, I guess not realizing behind him that the play was over. And I believe one of the Atlantic City players took a swing at him, and that what caused the personal foul penalty.
So there it is, stepped off against Atlantic City. That's going to give Ocean City the first down. They were short. They were faced with a third down play, though they would have, I'm sure, gone after it on fourth had they been unsuccessful, but that's not a problem now. They're on the 18-yard line of Atlantic City. Or is it? They're not finished walking. They're on the 14-yard line of Atlantic City, 1st and 10.
Happens often. You'll see offensive players downfield continuing to follow through with their blocks.
White.
Sometimes it's difficult to hear that whistle, and they certainly can't see behind them that the play is stopped. The defensive player, of course, notices that and kind of relaxes, and hence you have that problem on occasion.
Wing right formation, backs are split. Leipold gives the ball to Leon Brown, trying to get to the outside. He's going to turn the corner at the 10, the 5, touchdown.
But just great speed on that play. It looked like that the Atlantic City player out there, I believe it was number 80, Joe Levin, looked like he had an angle on Leon Brown, but Leon just kept going to the wide side of the field to try to turn that corner, and that's exactly what he did for 6 points.
Chris Gunnels will kick the extra point, changing that shoe. He's been very successful so far this year. 11 of 15, and he is 1 point behind James Brown of Atlantic City as far as the leading kickers in the Cape Atlantic Division I. He has a chance to tie that up right here. Out of Leipold's hold, the snap, the ball is down, the kick is up, the kick is wide to the left. Wide to the left. So Ocean City's lead is 6-0 with 8:27 left first period, and we'll be right back after this. During the summer months, Irene's on the Ocean City Boardwalk is one of the boardwalk's most popular attractions. Many gifts and mementos of a visit to Ocean City are available. Well, Irene's is still open and will be until December. You can pick up some interesting and different Christmas gifts at special prices. It's Irene's, 802 Boardwalk in Ocean City. Not just a summer place, but open till December. Chris Gunnels will kick off for Ocean City. Raiders lead 6-0. That's the first in 3 games he's missed, Bud. The last game was blocked.
I know that Chris is probably hoping the defense holds him for more reasons than one. He doesn't want to give James Brown an opportunity to get any kicks in today either.
From the 10-yard line, Atlantic City returning again with a nice kickoff return by Joe Levin. He's out across the 30 to about the 32-yard line, I would guess. Of course, the difference between them, Bud, being back to Chris and James Brown, is that's all Brown does is kick, and Chris Gunnels has about 18 other things to remember that he has to do offensively and defensively.
Including change his shoe every time he wants to kick. Levin showed good speed coming up on that center return right there, and his teammates opened a bit of a seam in the center of that Raider defensive kickoff team.
McElwain under center. Drops back to throw. Running away from pressure. That's Ted Jefferson. He's got him. Jefferson makes the stop at around the 25 or 26-yard line, so a loss on the play of about 6 or 7. Now they're going to move it all the way up to the 28, so about a 4-yard loss.
It almost looked like initially it was going to be a pass play to the bottom of your screen, the near side of the field, to the slot back, but he got held up at the line of scrimmage, and by the time he got out into the pattern, quarterback was forced to run left.
It's second down and about 14. Second and about 14. McElwain back to throw under pressure, and he gets away from the initial rush. That was Craig Swenis that almost got him, and he completes the pass downfield. The ball is spotted at about the 38-yard line, so it'll be a third down play coming up. Third and about 4. Third and 4 for Atlantic City. McElwain does a nice job getting away from that initial rush. That could have been a big loss for the Vikings. I formation. McElwain back to throw. Under pressure, hit as he throws. It's hanging up and it's intercepted. No, it's incomplete. I thought he had it, but I don't think Mike's arguing about it, so he must have dropped the ball a little bit.
Yeah, initially he had the ball, and as he hit the ground, the ball came loose, and then he recovered it real quickly, but the referee right there in good position to see that.
So a couple of good plays by, or at least one real good play by McElwain, avoiding Swenis and hitting Sklar over the middle for that completion, but this time it really hung up in the air a long time. Here's Brown to punt.
Ocean City's getting a good pass rush too, Tom, as we've mentioned before. That's where pass defense starts, right up there at the line of scrimmage.
Not much of a rush. He's got the ball down into that wind, angling toward the sideline, and it rolls out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. So Ocean City will have their football, on their own 33, and I'd say James Brown, against the wind, has done a pretty nice job of handling the punting situation so far.
A bit of the wind is coming across the field from the top of your screen to the bottom. Here as we stand at Recreation Field, it would be blowing, I guess, from the north. But it's pretty tough to kick or throw a football when you have conditions like this, and that's why a day like this really benefits a team that relies on that ground game, as do the Raiders.
Wing left formation. Leipold under center. And hitting the left side is out across the 40 to the 41-yard line is Krokenberger. He's got about 8 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 2. Atlantic City started their season with a 10-7 win over Lower Cape May on a touchdown pass from McElwain to Adams with 37 seconds left. Brown had kicked a 38-yard field goal in that game. They tied Mainland 12-12 and lost to Cumberland 28-21 when the Colts scored 21 points in the 4th period. A wing left formation and a collision in the backfield. Leon Brown ends up with a ball, but I think he got his hardest hit from Bob Krokenberger.
That's a play we haven't seen yet this year, Tom. Normally they'll run that inside reverse, and they'll start it to the right as the dive play and bring it back to the left on an inside handoff. That time it looked like they wanted to run a reverse outside. You saw Krokenberger come inside with a football and try to give it to Leon Brown, and the timing and the setting of the backs just wasn't there.
It's third down, about 5 yards to go. And hitting the left side, Krokenberger is stopped at the 40, so it's going to be 4th and 3 and a punting situation for Ocean City. After those first 3 games, Atlantic City won 3 in a row. They beat Millville 17-14. Harris scored twice, and Brown kicked the 27-yard field goal. They beat Bridgeton 14-6. Harris scored both touchdowns. They came from behind to win that. They beat Egg Harbor Township 20-13. with a Reuben White touchdown in the 4th period winning that game. Harris had 2 touchdowns and 111 yards in that game. And in the last game, Harris had 103 yards in a loss to Vineland. Here's the punt by Brian Leipold. It's end over end. It's angles, bounces inside the 25, and it's out of bounds at the 21-yard line.
Another low end over end kick. As you mentioned, goes out of bounds right about the 20. I think they're going to mark it at the 21. Atlantic City has not had good field position throughout this first quarter here that the Raiders lead 6-0. Atlantic City has a tough couple of weeks, Tom. Last week they had Vineland. This week they have Ocean City. Thanksgiving Day they have Holy Spirit. That's 3 tough football games right in a row for this club.
They came into those 3 games in a position of possibly winning the conference if they'd have won them in a row, but of course they lost in a close game to Vineland last week. Harris trying to get to the outside, and he's cut down around the 19-yard line by Craig Swenis.
So far, Atlantic City not able to do much of anything on the ground against Ocean City. The first couple of series, they tried to go inside a little bit, and there was nothing there. This time they try to go outside.
They put the ball there. No, right. They put the ball at the 21-yard line, or right about on the 20. May have lost a foot or two. It's second down and a little more than 10 yards to go. Adams splits to the right. Backs are in the eye. McElwain. Quick pass to Adams who had his knee down. And they're going to lose about a yard on the play. He had room to run. He actually got out to the 25-yard line, but put his knee on the ground to catch the football.
Yeah, both the officials saw it right away. The referee and one of the other officials on the field saw it. It's tough not to drop down to that one knee to protect the ball and field the ball. It's just in high school football, once you do that, you cannot advance the ball, and that's what happened.
McKnight splits to the right, now shifts, and the Vikings are they're going to have to use a timeout. A little disoriented as far as their formation. 3:17 remaining first period. Atlantic City calls timeout. Vikings trail 6-0. We'll be right back.
First Fidelity Bank has been serving the people of New Jersey nearly as long as the people of New Jersey have served the country. As the scene of nearly 100 Revolutionary War battles, New Jersey played a major part in our nation's history. Since 1812, First Fidelity has been associated with our state's most important projects. We're concerned with everything that affects the people of New Jersey, because at First Fidelity Bank, our first concern is you.
This down. George King has a word or two with the Vikings. And Ocean City set for a big third down play as well defensively. Wayne Coleman has had his say. The ball's on the 19-yard line, 3rd and 11 or 12 yards to go.
I'll tell you, a testament to the fans here in Ocean City. This is just such a horrible day to be out of your home, and pretty good crowd here.
Nice crowd. And Ocean City may have 2 more home games to come. They definitely have at least 1. Back to throw, McElwain, and it is tipped and caught. First down, Atlantic City on the 32-yard line. Adams with excellent concentration. That ball was tipped, and he kept his eye on it and made the catch as he was falling. And Atlantic City with their first down of the game on their own 32-yard line.
Mike Tull over there again, and really a good defensive play. He was in good position when the ball was thrown, and he moved in to bat the ball down. I think the ball was just a little higher than he wanted it to be, and when he tipped it, instead of the ball going toward the ground, it went up in the air and allowed the Atlantic City reception.
Twins to the right, McElwain over the middle. It's complete, and out to the 45-yard line to Ed Vax. Ball's going to be spotted on the 45, and another Atlantic City first down. The Vikings with 2 big pass plays in a row.
Little play action pass that time, faked the ball into the center of the line, frees the linebackers, and the quick dump to the tight end on a quick slant pattern over the center.
On the 45, backs are in the eye. McElwain, quick pass is batted down. What penetration by Ted Jefferson. If he'd have been there a half a second sooner, he might have caught the ball.
I'll tell you what was impressive about that play is that he kept his eye on the quarterback the whole time. A lot of times a football player will be taking on a blocker, and he's looking at the man who's blocking him and trying to shield or fend off the blocker. Ted Jefferson that time kept his eyes on the quarterback the whole time he was fending off the blocker, and he saw that ball coming and got his hand up there to knock it down. That's a fine play.
On the 45, McElwain hands off, and no gain whatsoever. Just back to the line of scrimmage is Tim McKnight.
John Boulogne making the stop from his linebacker position. Again, good penetration. He was actually on the ground as the running back came through and just reached up with his hand, tripped him up for the loss.
Brings about 3rd down and 10 yards to go for Atlantic City, just short of their own 45. Down near 2 minutes remaining in the first period. Single setback. Receivers left and right. McElwain back to throw. His pass deflected and incomplete. Might have been John Zonet that got the hand up, but even though McElwain is 6'3", he's still got some big guys bearing down on him with their hands up.
Well, he sure does, and that's just another fine defensive play. Watching the ball the whole time. The Raiders have done that a lot this year, knocked pass attempts down at the line of scrimmage.
Of course, Bob McDowell of Millville is the guy we talked about the most because he was only about 5'5", but McElwain has good size. Brown stands on his own 34 to punt. Good snap and a good punt. Good punt. Drives Krokenberger back to about the 16-yard line. He gets some running room down the left side, though, and brings it out to the 28.
Yeah, Tom, there's something right there that may go unnoticed as far as most fans here watching the game, but that return just showed Bobby Krokenberger such a good fundamental football player. I don't know if you noticed, but right before he was going to be hit, you saw him put his other hand on the football to protect the ball from popping loose. And that was the initial hit. Then he got away from that, and right before the tackle, you saw him do it again to keep possession of the football. That's just good fundamental football.
Power eye behind Leipold. From the 28-yard line, Leon Brown across the 30, across the 35, and out to about the 36-yard line. They're going to move it back to the 35, though. So it'll be 2nd and 3 or 4 yards to go.
You know, there are weeks when the Raiders play, as we mentioned, a team that does not match up with them size-wise across the line. And today they do, and this just goes to show the offensive line really doing the job in there, opening up some big holes for those running backs.
2nd and about 3. Leipold to Brown. Brown bounces off a couple tackles and gets some running room out to the 45-yard line, and it's an Ocean City 1st down.
Didn't look like there was a whole lot there when he initially hit the line of scrimmage. He kind of slid to the right a little bit off of the would-be tacklers and his blockers and picked up some yardage. There you're going to see it on the replay. And
we can't. But the same thing just happened that happened a minute ago. Brown brought it out to the 44-yard line, and it's 1st and 10 for Ocean City. This is a case where watching at home is better. It's a single setback, double wing. In motion is Swenis, and Leipold with the keeper. His pass downfield to Jefferson is complete. He's at the 35. Tries to avoid a tackle, but is stopped with a nice open field tackle by Ted Jones at the 30. The ball will be spotted on the 29-yard line.
I'll tell you, that was just a fine play all the way around. A great fake in the backfield by Leipold to hide the ball, and a fine pass. And Jefferson did have Mike Jamison out there to block for him. He needed that one block, but Mike just wasn't quite sure which way Ted was going to run. Didn't want to clip.
This may be the last play of the first period. Swenis inside the 25 down to the 22-yard line. And the time will run out here at the end of the first period. Ball's going to be spotted on the 23. Ocean City leads it 6-0. They'll have a 2nd down when we come back. If you're searching for entertainment, let your search take you to the Family Video Center, Wayside Village Shopping Center, Tuckahoe Road in Marmora. They have more than 1,000 movies for rent, both VHS and Beta. They sell TVs and video recorders by Quasar and many other name brands. The Family Video Center is open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. till 9 p.m., Sundays from 12 noon until 5 p.m. Call them at 390-1676. Family Video Center, Wayside Village, Marmora. For 105 years, the Sentinel-Ledger has covered the news that's important to the people of Ocean City. It's Cape May County's largest newspaper, providing sports fans with complete coverage of Ocean City High School football and other Ocean City High School sports teams. Plus, The Billows, published by the students of Ocean City High School. There's also complete social coverage and coverage of surrounding areas as well. Published every Thursday, it's the Sentinel-Ledger. Ocean City will have the football on the Atlantic City 23-yard line. Raiders lead it 6-0 on that 14-yard touchdown run by Leon Brown, which, by the way, was his 5th touchdown of the year. He's having a real fine junior year, and I think you and Tony Galeni have both mentioned this. He didn't play as a sophomore. Just imagine how much, well, you don't know how much he has lost, but certainly doesn't show it.
Just a talented athlete, Tom.
Wing right formation. Krokenberger on the wing. The backs are split. Leipold gives to Brown. And Brown cuts behind block, spins and fights inside to the 15-yard line. Looks like another Ocean City first down. They're 6th here in the first half. Atlantic City has 2.
Got a real key block that time from Dave Blyler, who pulled from his guard position. It came out, you saw him run, Leon Brown run inside that last block behind the line of scrimmage, and that was Blyler's block. Did a nice job.
Ball is on just outside the 15-yard line. 1st and 10, Ocean City. Single setback, double wing. Brown in motion, and straight ahead it's Ioannese. And he is inside the 10, down close to the 5, and may have picked up a first down.
Boy, what penetration by that offensive line.
Ball's going to be moved out to the 7, so it's a gain of about 9 yards on the play. It will be 2nd and 1. The ball on about the 7. Ocean City threatening to score again. Backs are split, wing right formation. Krokenberger on the wing. Ioannese hits the right side inside the 5-yard line. Down to about the 3, and it'll be Ocean City 1st and goal with their 7th first down here of the first half.
Ioannese's first carry. There you see Leon Brown coming back into the game right now. This is obviously something that the Raiders would like to be able to do coming into the game, and they are doing it, and that's run the football right at them and pick up good yardage on just about every down.
Ball's on the 4, 1st and goal. Full house behind Leipold. And it's Krokenberger, slices in, touchdown. Bob Krokenberger scores his 10th touchdown of the season. And Ocean City takes a 12-0 lead with 10:39 remaining in the 2nd period.
A crossing pattern by the backs there in the backfield. You saw the fake into the right side of the line where the Raiders would normally run that dive play, and they brought Krokenberger back to the left, a little trap block at the line of scrimmage. You're going to see it right here. Watch the fake into the right. Krokenberger comes across the left, follows left guard position roughly into the end zone.
Full house backfield. They're going to go for 2 points with the wind in their faces. Leipold gives to Brown, and he's going to be nailed back around the 4-yard line. So the 2-point conversion is unsuccessful for Ocean City. 10:39 remaining in the first half. Raiders lead 12-0. Since 1921, French Real Estate has provided consistent professional service to the people of Ocean City. Sales, rentals, appraisals, and investments. They're consistent. French Real Estate, 1 Atlantic Avenue in Ocean City. Phone them at 399-5454. And Bob French, one of the founders of the Archie Harris Football Boosters Club, reminds you to attend meetings 7:15 Wednesdays at the Youth Center. Ocean City to kick off. Chris Gunnell's tying his shoe. Raiders lead at 12-0. Scoring first on a 14-yard run by Leon Brown in the opening period, and just seconds ago, Bob Krokenberger on a 4-yard run. Gunnell set the kick. 10:39 remaining in the first half. And it's, well, it was going deep. The wind kind of held it up. It's taken at the 20-yard line. And the Vikings with another decent kickoff return across the 30 to about the 31 by Ted Jones.
Looked like it was going to be even a better kickoff return than it was. A good tackle down there by Bill McDaniels, number 11. It's quite a few quarters in a row without a score that the Raiders have played, Tom.
That's right. You're correct. They extended that to 10 by shutting out Atlantic City in the first half. First period. Bob Krokenberger, having scored his 10th touchdown of the season, used to be out there all the time, but now he gets a little bit of a break because Mike Tull and a few other guys have come along defensively. Ocean City started the season with 7 two-way players. Here's a pitch trying to get to the outside, but nothing doing, says Ted Jefferson. Down goes Tim McGann.
Another real fine defensive play by Jefferson. Just having a real good football game here in the early going. As you mentioned, Tom, about Bob Krokenberger, used to play both ways. And after the first couple games of the season, Mike Tull and Mike Nell moved into that defensive backfield in place of he and Ian Ace. Of course, Mike Nell with a knee injury now, and Ian Ace is back there on defense. You'll see Krokenberger get some snaps defensively also, but it's good to give him that rest.
2nd and 16. McElwain back to throw, under pressure, and is sacked. He lost the football. And Ocean City has recovered the football. Ocean City recovers the ball. Dave Gordon comes up with it. And they'll have the ball on the 19-yard line.
Here you're going to see the replay, and this time credit the Ocean City defensive secondary because he did have time to throw this time. He just didn't have anybody open. You only get so long back there, and there's the penetration. There's the hit in there. I think it was Zone making the hit that it jarred the ball loose, and Gordon coming up with the fumble recovery.
On the 19 of Atlantic City, Raiders in business again. Backs are split. Krokenberger on the wing right. The pitch is to Brown, trying to get the outside. He's boxed in. He's in a lot of trouble. There's 7 of the Vikings coming in and say hello to Leon Brown back around the 22-yard line.
Well, Atlantic City that time defensive play very well. They strung it out to the sideline. Leon Brown kind of looked like slow motion there at the end while he tried to find a place to run, and he wanted to hesitate and cut back inside, but good penetration, good pursuit, I should say, by the Atlantic City defense to bottle that one up. He just had nowhere to go.
Ball's in the 22. On the 22-yard line of Atlantic City, but it'll be 2nd down and about 13 yards to go. Swenis on the wing left. Backs are split. Krokenberger lost his footing, and that'll happen on a field like this once in a while, at the 25-yard line, and may have lost another yard. The brain trust of the Raiders on the sideline. Tony Gallenni calling the shots.
Sometimes the Raiders will send a player in with a play, and sometimes they'll get the signal from the sideline via one of the coaches. Not sure which of the coaches sends those hand signals in, but they probably use a decoy, and one of them is sending them in.
It's 3rd and 15. Backs are split. Leipold back to throw. Over the middle. Nice catch by Jamison at about the 15-yard line. Was a little bit behind him. He had to kind of turn his body back and made a real fine effort.
It's going to be about,
here you go.
It's going to be about 6 yards shy of the 1st down marker. There you see the Atlantic City coaching staff across the way. There's the tail end of that pass reception, and I believe we have a timeout here, Tom.
Indeed we do, with 7:38 remaining here in the first half. Ocean City leads 12-0, and we'll be right back. One of Ocean City's largest and finest motels is the Impala Motel. Open all year round, 10th Street and Ocean Avenue. You can phone them at 399-7500. If you have unexpected guests during the off-season, you don't have enough room for them at home, send them to the Impala Motel. They also have group packages available. The Impala, 10th and Ocean in Ocean City. And the Frank family encourages you to get out and support Ocean City High School sports. 7:38 remaining here in the first half. Ocean City on top by a score of 12-0. Tony Gallenni is in that huddle talking to his football team, telling them exactly what he wants in this 4th and about 6 or 7 situation.
Interesting down, too, because there are a lot of options. You might expect them to pass here, but the success they've had on the running game, they could pick up 6 yards on the ground.
In motion, Krokenberger. Leipold still has it. Pass over the middle is short. Incomplete. Underthrown, and Atlantic City turns it over on the fumble and then tightens up a little bit defensively, and the Raiders are stopped at the 15-yard line.
Good coverage that time by the Atlantic City secondary. While we have this break, we tell you that Ocean City has played Atlantic City 3 times in this decade. First time, 1982, the Raiders winning 6-0. 83, they beat Atlantic City 34-0, and last year 27-0. So it's the 4th game since 1982 that the Raiders have played Atlantic City, and they have yet to allow a point.
Looks like a new quarterback is in there. No. Yes, Gary
Poach.
Gary Poach, a junior, has taken over at the quarterback position for Atlantic City. Harris picks up a couple of yards on first down, so it'll be 2nd and 8. You know what that means, Bud? Because that series resumed in 1982. That means Atlantic City hasn't scored against Ocean City since 1939. I don't think we had that one on Channel 2.
I know I wasn't standing up here then. I don't know about you.
We got twins to the left, a single receiver to the right. Poach gives off to Harris again. There's a flag on the play. He may have gained a yard.
It's thrown into the offensive holding area. We don't know what it's going to be. There's some happy people here.
That's your favorite shot, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Holding against Atlantic City is going to create problems for them.
At least you didn't say my favorite shot was a refreshment stand.
That's second.
That's Gleason's favorite shot.
What's Gleason? It joins Tom Getsky every Saturday on WDVR to bring you live. Live Ocean City High School football. So it'll be 3rd and 7.
Penalty refused, apparently.
Right. Harris had gained 1 yard on the last play. Slot left, single receiver right. No, it's is that a double slot? Poach back to throw. Over the middle is complete to Sklar. He's got the first down. Got the first down out across the 25 to the 26 or 27 yard line, and that's 2 clutch pass plays by Atlantic City in 3rd and long.
I think a couple of the Raider defensive players were guilty of being a little deep on the coverage. They had some deep backs, and somebody had to come up there in that seam, and nobody did until it was too late. They allowed that completion to be made for first down yardage. A good pass.
It's 1st and 10, Atlantic City at about their own 28-yard line. Poach back to throw again under some pressure. Gets it away, overthrown. Almost picked off, as a matter of fact, out there. But it's incomplete. That was Ian Ace chasing down the receiver.
That time, Atlantic City leaving most of their players in to help block in the backfield. They only send 2 men out in the pattern. And John Beloin from his linebacker spot was blitzing on the play, but the extra offensive people back there were able to pick him up blocking.
2nd and 10 on about the 28-yard line. Backs in the eye. Poach retreats. Sets himself and really puts it high in the air, and it is incomplete. Almost intercepted by Armstrong and then almost picked off by Tull. It was intended for Mike Sklar.
There was some contact there just as the ball was coming up. Here you're going to see it. That ball is a real floater. I think it kind of slipped out of his hand. It got it up a little higher than he wanted to, and there's some contact just as the ball was there, but perfect timing on the play, and as you said, Tom, almost an interception. I think you're going to see Atlantic City put the ball in the air an awful lot. And there you see something that is not too happy.
Yeah, that's why we're not seeing Mike Nell, huh?
I know Mike's a little disappointed, too, because wrestling season starts shortly after football, and he's just a fine, outstanding wrestler.
Bill Nichols indicates he should be ready, at least for a part of the season. Almost a great catch by Harris. The ball was deflected into the air, and Harris had to come around an Ocean City defender to have a shot at that, and he almost pulled it in.
That was Beloin that time, again, playing pass defense from the linebacker spot, and it was one of those deals where he tipped the ball, and it was right in front of him up in the air. All he had to do was look up, and the ball would have dropped into his hands, and everybody in the stands is probably saying, look up, but he just didn't know where the ball was after he tipped it, and almost a great catch, as you said, Tom, by a Viking player.
James Brown to punt. Good rush. Gets off a nice kick. Plenty of height. It bounces and high in the air, too. Chases Brown back to the 25, and he stopped right there. And, of course, you got to give credit not only to James Brown for the punt, but real good coverage by Atlantic City.
Yeah, excellent coverage. And I think if he had it to do over again, he'd probably run outside a little further. He tried to go up the middle inside those 2 blocks, but good coverage. It's easy for us to see up here. It's pretty tough when you're down at field level to find the right place to run all the time.
On the 25-yard line. Ocean City with the ball. They lead 12-0, 5:35 remaining here in the first half. Backs are split. It's a wing right formation. And here comes Swen as he slips. Just across the 25 at about the 26-yard line.
Atlantic City, Tom, plays a 4-4 defense. Most of the teams in the league that the Raiders have faced will play that 5-2. Every once in a while, you'll see that 4-4. And it's a little different. It makes the blocking schemes a little different for the offensive linemen. And I think that they would prefer to play against a 5-2, but they're handling the different blocking assignments today very well so far.
Backs are split to wing right. It's a reverse. Krokenberger is out to about the 30, maybe the 31-yard line. And it'll bring about 3rd down and maybe 5 yards to go. 3rd and 5 for Ocean City.
Sal Spina in on the tackle for the Atlantic City Vikings from his right end position.
You see, not only the players get hurt, Bud, but that's cheerleader Jennifer Highland, who has a back injury and is kind of sadly watching her teammates perform. You get a real good shot of her, but fumble, but recovered by Jefferson. Leon Brown was hit at the 30-yard line and lost the football. But Jefferson recovers. Ocean City retains possession, and they're faced with 4th down in a punting situation into the wind. So Atlantic City could get some field position.
Yeah, they'll need a big punt here. This no doubt, barring any turnover here on the punt exchange, will be Atlantic City's best field position in the game so far.
Leipold awaits the snap. Good snap, not much of a rush. It's a low kick, bounces at midfield, and fumbled. Fumbled, but recovered by Harris for Atlantic City, I believe. Wait a minute. Ocean City doesn't agree, and it looks like the Raiders have the football. Is that McDaniels that came up with it?
Now, who came up with it, Tom? We're going to see it on a replay here. Atlantic City player looked like he had the ball when they went to the ground. Now, something must have happened. There's the initial hit and the fumble. There's where it looks like the Atlantic City player has a football, and it had to squirt out of there. I'm just not sure which Raider player came up with it.
3:43 remaining in the first half. Injured player on the field. We'll be right back. Ocean City leads at 12-0. Do you need insurance? Well, then you need the Darby Agency, 604 Central Avenue in Ocean City. Phone them at 399-0049. Roy E. Darby Jr. and Glenn F. Darby can take care of all your insurance needs. Auto, home, fire. Give them a call, 399-0049. If you need insurance, you need the Darby Agency, 604 Central Avenue in Ocean City. Ocean City with the football at the 45 of Atlantic City, and a flag on the play that goes into about the 42. Krokenberger on the carry.
I don't feel so bad, Tom, not knowing who recovered that fumble.
Nobody else does either.
Couldn't see it on the replay. About 15 people standing here in a press box, and nobody's real sure.
Illegal procedure penalty against Ocean City, and the Raiders will be penalized 5 yards. Is that the first accepted? There's James Brown. He was shaken up on that play, but looks to be all right.
Yeah, he may have been the one who recovered that fumble. It's hard to say. There you see a pretty good shot of him.
On the 50-yard line now, it'll be 1st and 15 for Ocean City. Atlantic City has turned the ball over twice in this game and almost intercepted 2 other times. Ocean City's comfortably ahead of their opponents in turnovers to takeaways. That was interesting. I snapped the ball, nobody moved.
Brian Leipold moved,
yeah,
but only
back
because
a yard.
the ball ended up in his hands.
So there's obviously a snap count foul up there. It's 2nd and 16 yards to go. Ocean City back on their own 49-yard line.
You think about that, Tom, and you don't see that happen very often. And for as many times as you go to the line of scrimmage in the course of the season, as
That's
many
right.
times as you have different snap counts every play, it's a credit concentration-wise that doesn't happen more often.
Jamison switches to the left end. There's a double wing formation, and Leipold back to throw. Quick pass is complete to Krokenberger, who falls out of bounds and in an awkward position at about the 46-yard line, but he's up. Hurt that shoulder in a very similar type of collision with the earth last week.
Yeah, he's going to be still about 11 yards shy of the first down, and brings up what should be a passing play here. Here's a replay, and a good sideline pass, a nice catch.
You can see when he first came up, he was a little grimacing a bit. James Brown is in the game as a wide receiver. On the wing right is Krokenberger, Swenis wing left, and Ian Ace a single setback. 3rd and 11. Leipold back to throw, has some time. It's complete to Krokenberger. He runs out of 1 tackle, but is ridden to the ground about 5 or 6 yards short of the first down on the 42-yard line of Atlantic City.
Get good hands, and again another well-thrown pass, just not near enough for the first down. Brings up a punting situation for the Raiders, but I think they may take a timeout here and discuss it.
It is indeed timeout, Ocean City, with 2:07 remaining in the first half. Raiders lead 12-0, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Bud Knight of Knight's Pharmacy in Ocean City. We've been serving Cape May County with quality products, free delivery, advice, and parking for 25 years. Now we're proud to announce Knight's Video. Knight's Video offers great family entertainment on VHS and beta tapes, and we are continually increasing our video library. Knight's Video and Knight's Pharmacy at 801 Wesley Avenue, Ocean City. Phone 399-5555. Knight's, for 25 years, a name you can trust.
2:07 remaining. Ocean City with a 12-0 lead here, and what, as we said, amounts to a championship game for the Raiders. If they win, they clinch at least a share of the Division I championship, and also will be playing a home game in the Group 3 playoffs, either next Saturday or more likely on the 7th of December, and we'll have nice warm coats by then.
There you see Tony Galante coming off the field, and he took a long time to get out there. I think there was an awful lot of conversation with the rest of his coaches first about whether or not they're going to go for this.
And they are. 4th and about 7. Leipold still has it. He's got running room. Leipold has the first down, and he's still going. Leipold at the 15, and Leipold scores. A 42-yard run by Brian Leipold on what did, well, let's say, developed very slowly that play, and he made a fine run.
Well, I'll tell you what, one of the coaches has taken a lot of congratulations, or maybe more. You're going to see it on the replay. He has Ian Ace out in front of him. It's a, I believe, a pass option. He starts to run, although it looks like he's going to run all the way, and then Ian Ace ends up throwing the block. He just gets down the sideline and just gets into the end zone as he's hit. That's a great run.
42-yarder. He's on one knee out there, getting a little rest right now.
I guess you take a timeout on 4th down to come up with a play like that every time, huh?
I would think. Here comes Gunnels. He's going to try for his 12th extra point of the season. He's 0 for 1 today. The ball is down. The kick is up. The kick is good. And Ocean City leads it 19-0 with 1:55 remaining here in the first half. We'll be right back.
The people of New Jersey have been waiting for a nationally recognized bank of their own. First Fidelity Bank's assets of over $10 billion make it the largest in New Jersey. As a leading New Jersey municipal bond underwriter, First Fidelity is providing the resources to help preserve our lakes, streams, rivers, and 127 miles of shoreline. We're concerned with everything that's important to the people of New Jersey, because at First Fidelity Bank, our first concern is you.
.155 remaining, 19-0. Brian Leipold with his longest run, 42 yards for the touchdown. It scored last week on a quarterback sneak.
That one really hurts from a Atlantic City standpoint with under 2 minutes to go in the half here. Going in 12-0 is a lot different than going in 19-0 at halftime, and that's just a great play.
Gunnels to kick off, but the ball's blown off the tee by the wind. May have Armstrong hold it, and they don't like that. The kickers that are not used to the guy being there, and you know they're afraid they're going to kick his finger. And
how would you like to be Chris Armstrong at 150
parents.
pounds watching Chris Gunnell's leg come right near your hand?
That's right. If he misses a little, he kicks you off. And almost a great onside kick. We'll be talking about that for the rest of the season. And it's Atlantic City's ball with good field position at about their own 35-36. There it was. And of course, also by having that guy down, of course he'd be a safety man anyway, I guess, but he doesn't get much of a jump.
Yeah, he is the safety man on a kickoff return. That ball just got straight up in the wind almost.
Chris Gunnell's not happy about it.
Well, he didn't allow a return.
Ball's on the 36. On the 36, Atlantic City with the ball. McElwain back in at quarterback. Fires one long. Off the hands and incomplete of Mike Adams. That was just over the receiver. A very well thrown ball, but Adams could not pull it in.
As you said, Tom, just a real well thrown ball. There you see Adams heading back to the huddle. And James Brown getting over there at the last minute to tip it away. Adams still had a shot at it. Been a super catch if he'd have been able to make it. You don't want, from an Ocean City standpoint, you don't want them to get a quick 6 here before the half if you can help it.
2nd and 10. Ball just across the 35. And offside. Mike Jamison a little over anxious. And the Raiders will be penalized 5 yards. According to our numbers, Atlantic City hasn't been penalized. Have we missed one?
They had a holding penalty against them that was declined.
Yeah. Ocean City only
Dead ball
penalized.
foul. Encroachment, red.
Thank you.
Again, another rule that's different from what you're used to watching on Sunday. You can cross that line of scrimmage in professional football as long as you get back before the snap and you don't make contact. You can't do that in high school football.
2nd and 5, just across the 40. McElwain back to throw, under some pressure. Quick pass is complete. At the 45, first down out at about the 48-yard line. Tim McKnight stopped by Mike Tull. At the 48, it'll be first down Atlantic City.
I think you'll see more of that quick pass pattern too, because that's something that takes the pressure off the quarterback a little bit. You're going to see it on the replay, and the linebackers that time do not blitz a good pass rush, but that quick little pass pattern in front of the linebackers could be more successful than standing back there looking for a receiver way downfield.
1st and 10 on the 48. McElwain back to throw. Drops deep. Passes over the middle. Complete to Adams at the 40 of Ocean City. And another first down for Atlantic City.
Yeah, I'll tell you, a pretty good duo there. A nice pass again, and Adams with another nice catch. We're going to see it again. There he is in motion. He's going to cut upfield, cut across the center. A deep drop back. Again, a well-thrown ball in amongst 3 or 4 Raiders.
I'll tell you, this is a nice passing attack that we've seen here in the first half. We've seen some earlier in the year. Ocean City has been hit 3 times by passes for 100 in games by passing attacks of 100 or more yards. Jay Stahl was rather impressive, though enhanced a little bit by a couple of razzle-dazzle. Well, one was a short pass that Mositis turned into like a 70-yard touchdown, and the other was that hook and lateral. Mike Garris of Egg Harbor Township passed for 171 yards, but threw the balls 37 times.
And much of that was after the game was pretty much out of hand.
Yeah, he got about 60 or 70 yards in the final drive, but he was over 100 yards anyway. Brian Pierce of Holy Spirit was effective with 157 yards. We hope Pierce will be back soon. He missed Holy Spirit's game on Friday with illness, though his substitute, Al Mallon, is, if you're a regular watcher of Channel 2, you must know, had a real nice ball game. Pass is complete to McKnight. He's into the 36-yard line.
That's the kind of pass the Raiders will give up, that 5-yard pass that stays in the center of the field and keeps the clock running. 40 seconds in running here.
Vikings will do it without a huddle here. Backs are in the eye. McElwain, quick snap, back to throw, rolling, and he's sacked. Sacked at the 45 by Ted Jefferson. And that keeps the clock rolling and forces Atlantic City to use a timeout, which, according to our numbers, is their second, but it might be their third. 23 seconds remaining here in the first half. Ocean City leads 19-0. Timeout for this.
If you're planning any remodeling, residential or commercial, get in touch with the people at Tolson Brickwork. You can reach them by calling 398-0986. Tolson will take care of brick or block masonry work at your home or business. Tolson Brickwork at 398-0986. And Rich Tolson wants to remind you to support the Ocean City Hawks, the Red Raiders of the future.
Third down and about 14 yards to go. 23 seconds remaining in the first half, and Atlantic City just inside the Ocean City 45-yard line. Single setback. Twins right and left. McElwain back to throw. Has some time. Passes off the hands of Mike Adams and incomplete. I'll tell you, Mike Adams looks like a first-class receiver. He goes after the ball the way you like to see a guy go after the ball.
Yeah, that pass was a little high. I think it might have been catchable. And, you know, you talk about him being a first-class receiver, and that particular time he did not come down with the football, but he has made some real fine catches.
I think that would have been a pretty good catch, though. He's only 5'8", and that's certainly not going to be an advantage. The Ocean City does not have what you would call a tall secondary. McElwain back to throw. Throws long down the right side. Incomplete. James Brown, flag on the play.
Well,
Ed Vax was the intended receiver, and I don't know if that was a flag on Brown or Vax or what, but we'll find out, I guess.
That's going to be a tough call. They're going to call pass interference down there, and that's... I think they are. Yeah, they are going to call pass interference, and I don't know. There may have been some contact initially. Let's look at it here. Here's the long pass. Well, maybe as James Brown cut in front of him, he may have
put his foot
just
out.
clipped his foot a little bit on his knee.
It's hard to tell. If you have time, we'd like to see that again. It's a penalty against Ocean City anyway. It's going to move it inside the 25. No, inside the 30. It will be a first down.
Interference, number 20.
Here it is again. It's still going to be tough to tell. You can see James Brown come up to knock the ball down.
Yeah, I think he did trip him. I think you're right.
It's an unintentional interference, but it definitely was. Shotgun formation.
Back to throw. McElwain under pressure, sack. Mike Jamison comes up with the sack back around the 41-yard line, and that might end the first half. Atlantic City out of timeouts, and the clock all zeros. So Jamison with a big defensive play, and Ocean City holds off Atlantic City and leads here at halftime 19-0. We'll be back with a little bit of a halftime show for you right after this. If you're searching for entertainment, let your search take you to the Family Video Center, Wayside Village Shopping Center, Tuckahoe Road in Marmora. They have more than 1,000 movies for rent, both VHS and Beta. They sell TVs and video recorders by Quasar and many other name brands. The Family Video Center is open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. till 9 p.m., Sundays from 12 noon until 5 p.m. Call them at 390-1676. Family Video Center, Wayside Village, Marmora. For 105 years, the Sentinel-Ledger has covered the news that's important to the people of Ocean City. It's Cape May County's largest newspaper, providing sports fans with complete coverage of Ocean City High School football and other Ocean City High School sports teams. Plus, The Billows, published by the students of Ocean City High School. There's also complete social coverage and coverage of surrounding areas as well. Published every Thursday, it's the Sentinel-Ledger. Here's the kickoff to start the second half. It's bouncing free at around the 7-yard line, and here comes Atlantic City. McGann returns it out to about the 25, and that's where the Vikings will put it into play. Atlantic City with the football at their own 25, trailing 19-0 here, and it's starting to rain pretty good.
Yeah, Bill McDaniels and Bob Cacioppo on the tackle there on the special teams. We should mention, Tom, that first half fumble recovery was Bill McDaniels. We found that out during halftime. Some of the coaches up here didn't even know who it was and came back and told us. We thank them for that information. And Bill, sorry we didn't give you the credit at the time.
McElwain under center. And he's hit in the backfield and finally going to be brought down at around the 23-yard line.
That was a strange play. It looked like he took the snap from center and stood there just stood there with the ball for a second or two.
There's a marker on the play, a penalty marker. Personal foul against Ocean City.
Things are just getting worse here weather-wise. You look at your screen, it looks like a pretty nice sunny day out there. That's the wonders of television.
Personal foul, number 20, red.
So first down for Atlantic City.
As we started the game here this morning, we just had some wind and a little drizzle. Right now we have a pretty heavy rain out there, which will make it even more difficult for the Vikings. They trail by 3 touchdowns at this point.
Atlantic City first down, just short of their own 40. And straight into the line, out to about the 43 or 44. They've shown a good passing attack. Another penalty flag on the play, and this time apparently against Atlantic City, holding. So that's going to just go back and forth a little while.
As you say, you look at the screen and it looks like a nice bright sunny day out there, but boy, it's anything but that right now. This is probably the worst we've had weather-wise all year to play football. And last week, of course, the wind at Egg Harbor Township very, very strong, but nothing
We
like
got a hold, interior white.
nothing like the pouring rain we're getting right now.
Sounds like a paint color, doesn't it? Interior white.
Yes.
Anyway, it's Atlantic City's first penalty, 15 yards, and it brings about first and, well, about 18 yards to go, I guess. Back to throw, McElwain.